Today I'm taking a look at the VEVOR compound bow. All right, so it does have a quiver. It looks like we've got a quick release on there, and this is the quick release adapter. We have our stabilizer, we have a strap, we have our arrow rest, and we have got our sight. And these pins are also adjustable. You can set that for 20, 40, 60, 20, 30, 40, whatever you want. I also appreciate that that has a spirit level and has a nice bright ring around the outside so you can't miss it. So it does come with a case. There's a nice padded case as well. You've got a bunch of arrows. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 arrows. And those are all field tipped. Oh, they're fairly stiff too. That's good. Yeah, these actually look like fairly decent arrows. That's nice. There are straps for the bow itself, so we don't have to worry about this thing, I guess, jostling around inside the case. And this is something that's very nice. So if you look inside there where it's threaded, you can actually see this is made out of aluminum. This is in fact a metal body, whereas a lot of these that are in this price range are composite. So I'm very happy to see that. You can see on our limbs, we got a little bit of labeling on there. We have our weight adjustment right there. It says max 7 turns. And if we look on the other side, we can see that it has a draw weight of 19 to 70 pounds and a draw length of 19 to 30 inches. One of the best things about a compound bow is that you can adjust it to whoever is actually going to be using it. You can see we've got a nice coated string on there, and we've got a lot of options for our draw length adjustment. We've got our release. We got all of our Allens in here, so we can do all of our adjustments with everything that we got in the box, and that is going to be a pull style release. So we do have a nice cushion strap, and I have fairly large hands and wrists, so that is basically barely going to grab on with the cushion, but we are still going to be able to hook and grab on with our main strap. Yeah, that'll be just fine. So this is something I like to see. They actually came with a bunch of targets. So these are 15-inch circles, and we have got 5 different targets. We also got our instructions for setting this guy up, and they're in full color. So I can see they did very intelligently put a yellow tag on there. Never dry fire a bow. That is very important. So especially for somebody that's buying a bow for their first time, you don't want to just grab the thing, take it out, and immediately ruin it. You cannot even pull the string without seeing this and taking it off. So we're going to start with our arrow rest. This is going to attach to the bow, and then we've got our arrow rest is going to sit right inside that hex. So we'll be able to slide that back and forth. And when we tighten up that bolt, that will lock it in place. So that is going to fit right here. You could mount it with this screw facing up or down. If it's up, then it could be interfering with this bar. But if it's down, then there's always the threat that it could potentially loosen and fall out. So I prefer having it facing up. We do want to have that as parallel with the bow as we can get it. Right now, I am just going to eyeball it and lock that down. Then the arrow rest is going to come in from the other side so that we can adjust that to line up with our string. I'll start out by pushing an arrow through and knocking that up. And then I'm just going to line up the bow, so I'm lining up right here with right there. And I'm going to push the arrow rest to line up that arrow. And once I got that lined up the way I like it, then we will lock that down. So now it's time for the sight. We are going to have to remove the tag because that is sitting right where our sight needs to go. That comes with 2 bolts pre-installed. And where the arrow rest was facing toward us, this is going to be facing away from us. We can now see what we are going to be looking at. We're going to be looking through this peep, lining that up with the outer ring, and then matching up our target. We can do a little bit of calibrating. Basically, we're going to line up our arrow rest and the rest of the bow with those sights, but most of the adjustment we're going to be doing on that is going to be while we're actually sighting in. So now we can install our stabilizer and we can install our strap. You want to do this at the same time because the strap is held on by the stabilizer. So the thread on the stabilizer goes through the hole in the strap. It looks like they actually got a steel insert on there for that. So that is good. We don't have to worry about this thing getting damaged. But the stabilizer is just going to thread right in. So with that, we can tighten that up through that clip. And then we got something that'll hold onto our wrist. And here is the quick release. Now you do not have to have this on there. This is going to be one of those things where if you want to be able to carry some arrows with you on the bow, you'll be able to do that with this. And that's going to thread in the same spot we pulled the 2 screws out for the sight. And you are going into plastic, so you don't want to overdo that. So now we can load up our quiver, throw it in there, lock it down. So I do have to say, this is a surprisingly nice bow for what you're paying for it. You could spend more than what this bow costs just on a sight down at a bow shop. But this comes with literally everything, even the release, even the Allen, so you can take this thing apart in the field. Plus the fact that that is actually made out of aluminum. That is a lot of bang for the buck. So if we want to set the draw weight, we're going to use this bolt right here. So right now, we can even see it is locked all the way down, so this is at max tension. So this right now is a 70-pound bow. We can also see on here it says max 7 turns. So if we loosen this up, we don't want to go more than 7 turns out. So if we go 7 turns out, that is going to make this a 19-pound bow. So if we got a 70-pound bow and we subtract 19 from the minimum. That means we have 51 pounds that we can play with. If we divide that by 7, that means that each turn should apply 7 pounds of force. Now that is the mathematical way to do it. It is never going to be perfect. The best way to check is just to measure. So if I wanted to make this, instead of a 70, if I wanted to make it a 63, I would just take 1 turn off. Right? Whatever we do there, we would do the same thing over here. We do have the stabilizer in the way, so I'm going to start there, do a half turn, start there again, and do another half turn. So now we should be approximately 63 pounds. The lower you go, the easier the draw, but the less velocity you're going to have. And now you can see a little gap in there, so you know we are not at max weight. So for your draw length, you want to spread your arms straight out so that you look like a bird. You're going to measure from the tip of your finger to the tip of your finger, whatever that length is from side to side. You take that number, divided by 2.5, that should be your draw length. Mine is 74 inches, so you divide that by 2.5, and that is 29.6. So I'm going to go with 29.5. So what I'm going to do here is I'm grabbing this string right here, and I'm going to loosen up that bolt right there. Now I can take this bolt out and a washer, and we can adjust it. So you can see we've got this little arrow right there, and I'm going to match that up with 29.5 and whatever hole that hits. So for me, I'm going to be going toward the inside hole on here, and we will screw that back in. And I can lock down the opposite bolt, and that side is ready to go. So we got one cam. I'll spin this guy around and do the exact same thing on this side. And there we go. So now I know I've got a bow set up for approximately 63 pounds and 29.5 inch draw. So 63 foot-pounds ain't nothing to sneeze at. I'm going to have to probably pull that out from the other side. So overall, that is a pretty awesome bow.